I grew up in a very well-respected family in a small community, and it was anything difficult or challenging, but especially anything to do with substance use was swept under the rug because there was so much secrecy around it. I felt like I was the only one, or that I was like the black sheep when I really wasn't, and just how much healing could have been done if we had been able to do that together instead of in isolation. Looking back on it now, I can definitely see where I used substances really the whole time as a coping mechanism. I used drugs and alcohol to change my reality and to change the way that I feel. And that trauma was really the gateway drug into more serious substance use later on. Today, I know that I am capable, that I am strong, and that I can do whatever I put my mind to, that I am a good person, that I'm a good friend, that I'm a good mom. Life can still be challenging at times, but I know today that I have the tools to live life successfully, and that was not true for me before. I'm incredibly grateful for my recovery and that it's allowed not just me that security and freedom in life, but also my son and my family. I was a teen mom. I had him when I was 17 and then was in very chaotic youth and entered recovery and came back and got to be with him and really grew up with him. And he has become like my pilot fish, I like to say. He just kind of has followed me around through life, and we've grown up together, and can honestly say he's like my best friend, or the thing that I'm most proud of in the world, and that I really believe today that he has like a safe, trusting relationship with me. Before recovery, I really felt alone and unsure of how to move through the world, and today I just have this whole community of people that love and support me. I have a lot of chosen family. I have a lot of friends, a lot of coworkers that really have become my tribe. They're the people who understand me, the people who support me, the folks who I know will always be there when I need help, and that is something I did not have before entering recovery. I felt incredibly alone and isolated, like here's the world and everybody in it, and I'm somewhere out here apart from. And now I've been brought back into the center. What I wish more people knew about substance use disorder is that recovery is not a linear path. I even was guilty of that, like in my early recovery, because there was one way that I had found worked for me, and I felt very strongly about that and thought that if you were doing anything else, that you were doing it wrong. And that's just actually not true, and not what I have observed as a recovery service provider working mostly in harm reduction work. Sometimes we're making detours or, winding. And sometimes people do take a step back, and that doesn't mean that all of their progress forward was pointless or that we didn't still learn something from that experience. The place that I work at, one of my favorite slogans that we have is "No tough love, just love tough." And that doesn't mean that we can't hold people accountable. It doesn't mean that we can't have boundaries. It doesn't mean we can't be honest with people. But it means that we are committed to loving people exactly where they are, regardless, because healing happens in community. Sharing these stories of hope and recovery have opportunity to ripple out as well and to affect change in people's lives. And I really wish that I had had somebody when I was in active use that was honest with me and who could have provided some hope. So I try to be that person to as many people as possible today.